Hey, welcome to the channel again. My name is CryptoBud. Today, I want to talk about the state of the market. Okay, now I did a video on Bitcoin earlier, so if you have not checked that video out, go ahead and check it specifically. But I wanted to share something a little bit more personal with you, and that has to do with these ups and downs of the market. I mean, currently we are starting to see that Ethereum and Bitcoin is stalling. They're stalling at the moment, and that's okay because for the last couple of years we've been seeing this move up, move down, move up, and many people are asking about airdrome. Like, what happened with that? How come you're not talking about it anymore? And one of the things I always tell all of you is that crypto investing is it has these cycles. You don't want to be trading actively every single day. There's times when you're going to be making a lot of money, and there's times when you're going to be losing a lot of money. There's times when there's nothing to be done. And I remember last year during the summer, a lot of people were giving up on crypto, specifically as we entered into October of 2023. And I was in here in the channel and I was talking about why you should really stack on Bitcoin. And I decided to go all in last year because one of the things I saw was this was the time to accumulate. You're not going to get these many quiet periods because a catalyst could come next. Now, I think that this next year, going into the last half of 2024, and by the way, 2024 was a fantastic year because everybody here made money. If you did not make money in 2024, you were not following the right people, you're not following my channel, and most importantly, you're probably were doing something that was counterintuitive to what you're supposed to do. And going into the next half of 2024, I think there's going to be two catalysts going forward. Number one is the presidential election, which we already know. The second thing that's going to be a big part of this is going to be the Ethereum ETF. Now, the Ethereum ETF got approved. The SEC said, we're going to go ahead and do that. Many countries are now adopting that same platform with the Bitcoin ETF, and they're starting to open up their doors to crypto ETFs, including Thailand. So when we're seeing these ETFs being approved, it's very clear why we are starting to see the adoption happening. And so for the next couple of days, you're going to start to see a very big change in crypto. And I'm going to say this in terms of not necessarily days, because it may take months or perhaps years, but the current prices that you're seeing right now, you're not going to see for a very long time. Obviously, if it goes lower, let's say Bitcoin crashes to 35,000 or 50,000 or 10,000 or whatever number that you think it's going to crash to, it's going to be the best buying opportunity you're ever going to get. Anything after that, after the next 5, 6, 10 years, it's going to look like a dip in the bucket. And there's a couple of reasons for it. Number one is there's still a lot of money being printed in the system. I don't see that changing. Also, the thing that's most people are going to really not see as well is going to be the fact that crypto rails are already being built on different platforms. Coinbase being one of them, Robinhood being another one. There's also talk that other banks are trying to get custody inside. There's a lot of legal back and forth on the rules for the regulation of banks holding Bitcoin. And so you're starting to see this momentum starting to occur, and that's going to lay the groundwork and the infrastructure for approval and for crypto being mainstreamed, full mainstream, not semi-mainstream, in the next 5 to 10 years. So right now it's the time to accumulate those positions. You're going to have to sit on it for a while because it's not like the beginning days when everybody was making like 10x on a random coin. Now it's becoming much more difficult, but on the same side of that coin, there's a lot more liquidity. So you kind of have to kind of take it from both sides. On one hand, you have less volatility in the crypto market as we used to back in 2012, back in 2016. But at the same token, you can exit your positions if you have a very large position because you have buyers that are willing to buy your coins, specifically Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now, where the money is going to be made. Okay, this is the big part. The big part is the money is going to be made in protocols that are going to connect with traditional finance, specifically your regular traditional finance companies like Coinbase and Robinhood and things like that. And it's simple. It's because there's so much money in traditional finance that those rails are going to eventually merge. So when people say I'm going to invest in a meme coin and I'm going to buy, this meme coin is going to 10x or 20x or 30x or 100x, you can make that in a very, very short period of time. But long-term wise, those coins eventually are going to be non-existent. Majority of them are going to go to zero. And so you're kind of playing hot potato there. That's not the long game I'm playing. The game I'm playing is looking at projects that are going to do very, very well in the next 3 to 5 years. Your next Solanas, your next Ethereums, your next Avalanches, things like that. So I'm very, very optimistic about this market, even though I know haven't been giving you guys a lot of information as of yet, but I'm building positions that I think are going to do very well. Small but very large positions. And that's really where I want to get to in this video. Now, you all have an option at the moment. You have an option of buying Bitcoin, of Ethereum, of buying Avalanche, of buying all these random coins that you think are going to change your life. But just keep in mind one thing. We have bigger players now that have the opportunity to move markets that you've never seen move before. And the simple reason is these players have deeper pockets than the average grandma or uncle that would have bought crypto 10 years ago. It's been a great, interesting year. I mean, literally, Bitcoin has far exceeded my expectations of what it was back in 2010. Right now, we're in 2024. It's been already 14 years since Bitcoin's inception. 15 years, actually. And when I look back at how far we've come from those early days till now, it's amazing to think that this is a $1 trillion asset that in many ways defied all expectations. It literally was called Magic Beans. It was called the coin that I think at one point they called it the scam coin because of the fact that it was involved with Silk Road and things like that. But now we're here. Now the ETFs are on. People can buy them in their brokerage accounts. Pension funds can buy it. And there is a huge demand for that because of the rising rate of inflation across the globe. The money printers haven't stopped. And there is really, with the AI craze that's happening, there's really going to be a lot more money printing because people are going to be out of a job. I mean, there's going to be a lot of outsourcing happening. People are not going to have the skills. And the government will have to step in to give people a living wage, and that's just going to create an inflation spiral. Gold is pretty much going gangbusters at the moment, and things are getting more expensive. And this is exactly why Bitcoin was created in 2009, because of this very problem. And that was, like I said, 14, 15 years ago, that things have not changed. So if you believe that we're going to change next year, which may happen, there's a very high probability that you're going to want to own Bitcoin if things are not going to change. And the way I'm looking at it right now is I don't think things are going to change. I think things are going to stay the same. I think things are going to get worse, if anything, and you should be prepared for those situations in the best light possible for yourself, for your family, and for your loved ones. So with that, all that said, I'm here to help all of you. I'm here to guide you guys on where the next trajectory is for crypto. And I do hope that my channel provides you guys with education, obviously some life-changing gains in the process, but by all means, I'm not perfect with anything. But I do want to kind of share with you guys that in the next couple of years, we're literally at a pivot point. This is actually the pivot point that's going to, we're going to look back at this year, 2024, 2023, 22, whatever period that you're looking at. But I think this year is more than the previous years. It's because we are ushering in a new wave of monetary policy that it's going to be permanent. And that has to do with the money printers. That's literally what it comes down to. So stick with me a little bit. I'll be giving you guys more data about that. And hopefully you guys join me on this epic journey of Bitcoin to $400,000. CB out.